Hello, boys and girls. I've been blessed to be able to give you story time for this Saturday. I am going to be reading to you next week as well. One thing that none of the other readers knew is that our church owns a really cool storyboard. And the reason I knew that is because when my little girl Liz was only 4 and she's now 22, was little, I bought this storyboard for Sunday school. So I knew it was there, other people did not. So I'm going to use the storyboard to tell my story today. My story is about the manna, the quail, and the water. Manna, by the way, means bread. God loved the Israelites and their leader Moses. God promised to bring the people to a place where they could build homes and live happily. They had never lived outside of Egypt where they were captive before, and they were afraid. God went with them as they walked their long journey. They had to walk long and far to the place that God promised to them. Traveling was hard and tiring. Along the way, the people became hungry. They complained to Moses. "I'm so hungry," one boy cried. And a little girl said, "I wish we could go back to Egypt. At least there was food there to eat." Her stomach was growling while she said that. The people missed their dinners of meat and bread. The Israelites didn't know that God had heard them complaining. That evening, something strange happened. Tiny birds called quails appeared everywhere. So God directs the people to pray for food from God. Moses directs the people to pray, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, came quails. And they started to land everywhere. Quails could be food. They could be the meat that they would roast over the fire and have meat to eat. So when the tiny birds called quail appeared, the people knew that God was listening to them. They should have known that, shouldn't they? The next morning, the ground glistened with fresh dew. Even after the sun dried up the dew, there was still something covering the ground. So even though the sun dried up the dew, these pieces of white were in the flowers. It looked like bread had rained down from heaven, and it was manna, also known as bread. The manna looked like tiny cakes of bread. The people ate and ate and ate. Every day God sent manna and quail so that the people had food to eat along their journey. The Israelites kept traveling towards the place that God promised. After a while, they ran out of water. Even though God had given them food when they were hungry, the people still complained and whined. And Moses got tired of it. So one day Moses said to God, "They're complaining yet again. I don't know what to do." This time God told Moses to hit the rock with his staff that he always carried. So he does, hits this rock. And when he did, water gushed out of that rock. Look at the water coming out of the rock. The people had more than enough to drink. God gave food and water to the Israelites every single day. God took care of the people just like God promised, and he will take care of you too. I hope you enjoyed today's story about manna, quail, and water. God always takes care of us. Have a good day, boys and girls.